everyone. It's your girl Maddie here, aka Beaver Mush, and today I'm talking to you about Ardor for Black Mastery from the Athens-based Auriferous Flames coming off of True Cult Records. And this is the second full length from this project created by Ilos, a quite prolific metal musician who is known for other projects such as Spectral Lore. The last Our First Flame record definitely had this scathing quality to it. It was bleak and oppressive at times, but it was all filtered through this certain haziness, definitely leaned more into kind of an atmospheric territory. And so I was surprised here when I pressed play for this album on the first time and was really taken back by all of the thrash influences and elements so pivotal to this particular record's DNA. This album possesses much more of a meatiness and an angst. And the recipe here, it just works. This album is dark, it's menacing, it's abrasive and very heavy. Yet it's also so exciting and invigorating and holy shit. On the first track, Wielders of Secrets, whenever I listen to it, I automatically perk up, give a couple side eyes, and just open my mouth to these rapidly wicked spinning riffs that come in with a fury tied vocally to these possessed snarls. You are automatically being brought into this utterly intense and unleashed experience. This record has a certain cloudiness that you might expect from any Iolos project, but this one is a bit different in just how nasty its bite is. The drums here feel like a whip constantly slashing forward. Combine that with the incessant chaos billowing around you, and you are suddenly becoming very aware of how unforgiving this environment is that you are diving into. While everything is just hitting and thrashing all around you, you're also being privy to these chilling choral vocals that feel like they are weaved into the rhythm section as if they are actually part of the track's blood. And it feels like you are part of this unholy ceremony on thaumaturgical irresolution. What a great song title. You get that second wave classic occultic riffing style, but it's paired also to some of these Sodom creator-esque hammering chugs, even vocally. Ilos does a mixture of these classic black metal streaks, but like combined to more of this aggressive hardcore punk style shout, throws those two approaches and styles into a blender, and out comes whatever this monstrous sound is. You get these sharp, needling tremolo riffs that are held up by these actual dungeon synth flourishes. It's kind of scary, actually. It's pretty horrifying. What I gather from listening to this record is that while it's very dense and complex, it sticks to a core heavy metal sensibility in the riffing, in the way it's performed. It does not forget those foundations. But emphasis on the word complex there. Just listen to these flying circular guitar patterns come in, matched by these incomprehensibly violent drum rushes. I can't make sense of everything going on. It's so chaotic, and I am so okay with that. I'm just gonna let it happen. The title track does bring more of that cold, dour, melodic sense, and also has that very Immortal inspired black metal hop to it This track gives us the first glimmer of more of an epic and battle ready side to Auriferous Flame's music. This album, as this as an example, has a great rise and fall to it. It's not a front loaded record at all. It's definitely not back loaded. It's just ordered perfectly. Well done. These very pagan, medieval esque passages and little runoffs feel climactic, honestly. All the intricacies on this record, the various guitar layers, all the melodic components, the backing vocals, it's so dense and complicated. It could get really messy very quickly in the wrong hands, but it's mixed so well here that it just works. It feels like a force. The basiness of Beyond Light, Beyond Reason. Yes, I said bass in black metal. I know. It it just pushes up against you. You can feel its muscle, and paired with the absolutely enraged vocal sounds, this track feels dangerous. Listen to how these two competing guitar lines seem to interact. It's as if two tornadoes from hell, opposite sides of hell, are fighting each other. And in the midst of that battle, these drums blast forward, coming from some other evil place. I don't know. I'm losing the metaphor. You get it. It's insane. This moment is so heavy, so dark, so caustic. By far my favorite passage on the record. There are these atonal, buzzing, quite technical leads going on, but it's a dissonant technicality. Nothing feels pleasant to the ear at all. It's very grueling, but it sounds goddamn cool. And again, some choral vocals to make it feel even that much more unhinged. On recommencing the great work, the riffs morph and evolve over time. I think I'm listening to a straight up thrash tune, and I blink, and all of a sudden it feels like it was pulled straight off a classic Darkthrone record and back and forth. You don't really know where that inspiration begins and end. It's so fluid, and I don't get how they did that. This record has all of the best grim and cult elements of a raw black metal record, but also has all of the gruff and huff and aggression of thrash metal, and Auriferous Flame found that perfect sweet spot. Some of these very harsh snarls are so intense I believe them. There's a palpable rage being projected. And with all of this madness, it's thrown on top of these cool analog synths again, makes it feel, on one hand, far less accessible than it already was. And also on the other hand, it makes it feel more immediate. It's a weird dynamic. Speaking again to the pacing of the record, there are these really well placed interludes that really add to the overall experience, to the atmosphere, to the mood, that feel almost essential. From the flamenco style Ophidian hallway to the more foggy atmosphere of Behind the Gentle Breeze, these interludes accentuate the overall theme of the record. It feels like they were really well thought in their use and utility. They're anything but filler. Ardor for Black Mastery owns. It's a fucking amazing black metal record. Last year, my album of the year was that Auto Noesis record. A record that kind of did a similar thing in injecting thrash into black metal. And I guess I clearly have a thing for that type of approach. I love this thing. I'm kind of obsessed. I don't want to make any premature predictions, but I don't think I've found myself fully enjoying other records to the extent of which I am fangirling hard over this one. I love it. I love it. I can't recommend it highly enough to you. Please hear this thing. And hey, those are my thoughts. If you like what I do, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It'd mean the world to me if you'd consider subscribing. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of the YouTube channel and below. Leave a comment. You know I love engaging with those. Hey, thank you to my Patreons. And yeah, I have a Patreon. You can support that. No pressure at all, but it will help keep this channel sustainable, and you will have access to some exclusive content coming out, and you'll get your name in a video like this. So, hey, you consider that. And keep it metal. My name is Maddie, aka Beaver Mosh, and I am signing off.